Yo, what's up guys, it's me, toughlondonman here, back again with another video. Today we are going to be talking about the recent cancellation of Scott Cawthon, the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's. If you don't know, the country, at least the United States, I'm not really speaking for any other country, but the US is pretty divided a lot recently, especially with like political parties. You got, I guess, the right, they're always pictured as, just a bunch of militant Trump supporters. And then you have, the lefts as just a bunch of softy hippies. That's like a bunch of stereotypes that people try to pull around in. It's pretty crazy, like everyone goes crazy if you're one side because that makes you an ist or an ism or, an idiot if you're the other side. And that's just, yeah, it's crazy. And Scott Cawthon, the creator of FNAF, has now been canceled because he's a conservative. So, yeah, basically what happened is that a bunch of fans found out that he has been donating to a lot of people who are conservatives and donating to campaigns of people who are conservatives, and they're saying that these people are racist and that they're homophobic and that they're sexist, and that by him donating to them, that makes him all the ists and the isms. And so Scott Cawthon on Reddit, he came out and made an apology. Now, a lot of fan bases wouldn't really freak out over this, but I want to describe the FNAF fan base to you. Now, the FNAF fan base, as you know, it has a lot of furries, and a lot of furries usually tend to be part of the LGBTQ plus community, and that made a lot of them mad because obviously, seeing that that Scott's allegedly donating to people who are apparently homophobic and sexist and stuff, that obviously wouldn't fly well with them because they're like, why would our guy be, the guy who created our favorite franchise be such a homophobe, and, seen as, furries are LGBTQ plus a lot, are, they would be mad. I'm sorry, I'm kind of over-explaining this, but, yeah, so that's kind of the situation, and we're going to get into the Reddit post and his response right now. So the Reddit post is titled, My Response and Maybe Last Post. This message isn't specifically directed at the Reddit community. This is just a community that I care about and the most, and where I choose to post these things. I never cared much for Twitter anyways. To say that the last few days has been surreal would be an understatement. I've debated greatly on how best to address this, including not addressing it at all, but so many people from the LGBT community in my fan base that I love, that is not an option. Wait, fuck. I kind of read that wrong. So many people from the LGBT community in the fan base that I love. That's not an option. I'd like to think that the last 7 years would have given me the benefit of the doubt in regards to how I treat people. But there I was, trending on Twitter for being a homophobe, getting doxxed with people threatening to come to my house. My wife, 6 weeks pregnant, spent last night in fear because of what was being said online. She had already been struggling with her pregnancy, and seeing her so afraid scared me. All this because I exercised my right and my duty as an American citizen to vote for all the support and candidates who I felt could best run the country. For everyone, that's something I would not apologize for. For those who took... Fuck, I cannot talk today. For those who took the time to look, you saw that the candidates I supported included men, women, white people, black people, Republicans, and Democrats. I supported Kimberly Clackick. I hope I'm not saying that wrong. I supported Kimberly Clackick in Baltimore because I believe that she really cared for the African American community there, and I wanted to pull them out of poverty. I believe she could have really made a difference in time. So when I cannot read sentences. I really thought she could make a difference in a time when so many black communities were struggling. She lost, unfortunately. I supported Tulsi Gabbard, a Democrat, even though I disagreed with her on several issues, because I felt she would have been good and a fair president. And yes, I supported President Trump because I felt that he could be the best man to fuel a strong economy and stand up to America's enemies abroad, of which there are many. Even if there were candidates who had better things to say to the LGBT community directly and get bigger promises to make, I believe that their stances on other issues would have ended up doing more of a greater harm than those communities. All of this explanation, I fear, is wasted, as people don't want to discuss with one another. They want endless apologies and submissions to people who aren't expecting it. From those, they will get neither. Now, so obviously, basically what he's saying is that, first of all, he didn't like Twitter, and nobody likes Twitter. It's a fucking cesspool. It's the worst platform on the internet. Second, he says that obviously he's been getting doxxed and death threats which is fucking disgusting. And also, I want to mention this because I made a dream video recently on his drama. If you guys are doxing him, showing around his face, even if it is or isn't, that's disgusting. You shouldn't be doing that. Like, there's one thing just taking a drama and clowning on a guy, but it's another thing to dox his face. Because I just wanted to say that. I didn't want to put it into a full video, but yeah, anyway, so yeah, he's been doxed and his wife is afraid of being threatened, and this is disgusting. You shouldn't do that to a person, even if they're not, agreeing with your political values and how you see things as, like, social justice. And the second part he said is that, that he supported certain candidates that he think is better for the country. And honestly, I support Scott Cawthon on this. Like, I think that he shouldn't be just, I think people shouldn't be supporting candidates just because their stance on, like, the LGBT community, and they should actually focus on, like, stuff that they're actually doing. What are they going to do for taxes? Like, how are they going to fix X issue? Not just, virtue signal about stuff. And honestly, I think it's ridiculous that people are canceling Scott for this. Like, for example, he supported Trump, and Trump's a pretty controversial topic. I don't know the whole problem of what he did, but he did stand up to enemies abroad. That's something Republicans do a lot more. They stand up to China more. Like, South Park even made a whole episode about that. But yeah, and that's just what he believes, and I don't think he should be canceled and doxxed and fucking threatened and have his family threatened just because of his political opinion. Like, this is ridiculous. But anyways, to finish off the apology, I've never been supportive of creators, and I've tried to treat everyone fairly, and I treat everyone with dignity and respect. I've never cared about anyone else's race, religion, gender, or orientation. I just treat people as people. Everyone is the same, and because of that, I've ended up with a very diverse group of people that I've worked with for over the years. It wasn't intentional, but it just happened that way. I chose the people who are best for the job. I treat everyone the same, and I ended up with people from all walks of life in my professional life and my personal life as well. That's the way it should be. That's the way I wanted it to be. That's the way it will continue to be. I'm a Republican. I'm a Christian. I'm pro-life. I believe in God. I also believe in equality, and in science, and in common sense. Despite what some may say, all those things can go together. That's not an apology, a promise to change. That's the way it's always been. If I get canceled, then I'm canceled. I don't do this for the money anymore. I do it because I enjoy it. If people think I'm doing more harm than good, then maybe it's better that I get canceled and retire. I would accept that. I've had a fulfilling career besides. Most things that people can take from you are things that have had never much value to begin with. I have always loved and will continue to love this community and this fan base, even if someday it doesn't include me anymore. Now this is a perfect response in my opinion. Now obviously one of his points was yet again not apologizing and saying that this is the way it's always been, and I like that. He's not bowing down to all these people. He's just saying, I'm not a homophobe. I don't believe in that stuff. I'm not bowing down to your community. And that's great because, honestly, just because you support some politician and they have an opinion doesn't mean, you have their exact opinion. And I think it's stupid that people always try to cancel people because of this. Like, just because you're a Republican or you're a Christian or you're white doesn't make you all the ists and isms. It's just, it's a case-by-case standard, Just because one person is a Christian and is like an extreme homophobe doesn't mean some other random Christian is also an extreme homophobe, But that's really all I have to say for this. You guys shouldn't dox Scott, obviously. Don't, threaten him and give him death threats. That's just very stupid. He's a genuinely nice guy, and he doesn't want to be canceled like this. And you guys are honestly being ridiculous. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on the video. It's a little shorter than normal. I'm gonna get a video out tomorrow on the recent Indiana Jones 5 drama. But besides that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.